Have you ever wondered how some people find wisdom where others only see confusion? Archangel Uriel, often less known, is the source of that clarity. He's the silent guide who illuminates complex decisions and inspires deep discernment. And what if I told you that you can access this power? Uriel can help you make the best decisions, transforming your life and guiding you on your journey of self-discovery. Archangels are spiritual beings of immense power, known for their wisdom and light. Imagine these majestic figures as great guides walking alongside us, even though they are often invisible to our eyes. They are not just messengers but executors of divine missions that shape the destiny of the universe. Think of them as that inner compass that subtly guides you in moments of uncertainty. By recognizing their presence, you open yourself to a higher and more powerful energy, capable of transforming difficult decisions into illuminated paths. These spiritual beings are as ancient as time, and their actions echo throughout human history. They appear at crucial moments, always offering a balance between justice and compassion. Have you ever thought about how certain decisions in your life, seemingly made by intuition, completely changed your trajectory? Perhaps that was the work of an archangel. How can you apply this knowledge? Learning to listen to that inner voice, which some call intuition, can be the first step. Start paying more attention to your instincts without dismissing the options life presents to you. Archangels are not limited to a single function. They can manifest in various forms according to the divine purpose they serve. This means their presence can be felt in different ways: a hunch, a dream, or even someone crossing your path at the right moment. Have you ever experienced a situation where an opportunity arose just when you needed it most? It could be the intervention of these powerful beings. Learning to trust these signs is a skill that can be developed over time, bringing more peace and confidence in the future. Throughout history, many people have reported encounters with these beings, both in religious texts and personal experiences. These appearances are not accidental. Archangels show up when the balance between good and evil needs to be restored. A practical example you can apply to your life is to observe the moments when you seem to be faced with a difficult choice. At that instant, seek guidance, whether through prayer or meditation, and wait for that insight that comes out of nowhere. This is how they act, subtly, but always at moments of great importance. These celestial messengers are not restricted to miraculous interventions. They also operate in our daily lives, guiding decisions and strengthening our convictions. Have you ever noticed how some decisions are so difficult, but once made, everything seems to fall into place? That's an example of how they work. By opening your mind to this idea, you begin to perceive that spiritual help is available. You just need to ask and be attentive. It could come in the form of inspiration, an answer you weren't expecting, but that arrives at exactly the right time. Finally, it's interesting to note how archangels work in harmony with free will. They don't force us but guide us. And the more you seek this assistance, the easier it becomes to notice their presence. It's not about expecting instant miracles, but understanding that these celestial beings can inspire great changes in our lives. And speaking of great changes, have you heard of archangels with specific roles, like Michael, Gabriel, and Raphael? When we talk about archangels, Michael, Gabriel, and Raphael are the names that immediately come to mind. These three have very clear and recognizable roles, each playing a fundamental part in the divine order. Michael, the celestial warrior, is the great defender against the forces of evil, and his presence is often associated with the battle against darkness. Think of him as a soldier of light, always ready to fight for those in spiritual danger. Gabriel, on the other hand, is God's faithful messenger, delivering news that changes the course of history, as he did with Mary when announcing the birth of Jesus. Raphael, the archangel of healing, brings tangible relief, whether physical or spiritual. He is the kind of archangel you want by your side in moments of weakness or when facing a challenge that seems impossible to overcome. There are many stories that mention his miraculous interventions, healing the sick and guiding the lost. To apply this knowledge to your life, think of Raphael as the one you can invoke when you feel the need for deeper healing, one that goes beyond the physical and touches your soul. Meditating on his presence can bring a sense of relief and renewal. Each of these archangels is a perfect example of how the universe organizes its forces to maintain balance. Michael, with his flaming sword, is the shield that protects us from evil. Gabriel, with his clear and powerful voice, opens doors to new realities. Raphael, with his compassion, restores what was lost. If you begin to recognize these energies in your life, you'll notice that in moments of weakness or doubt, One of these forces might be acting to guide you. Have you ever experienced a moment when you felt protected, even without knowing how or why? Michael is also often called the leader of the heavenly armies, and his authority over evil is absolute. When we think of spiritual battles, it's his figure that comes to the forefront, fighting tirelessly to keep evil at bay. If you've ever felt trapped in a cycle of negativity or in a situation that seems to be a spiritual battle, it might be time to ask for his intervention. By doing so, you'll be calling on the ultimate force of light to dispel any shadow around you. Gabriel, for his part, delivers messages that change lives, often announcing the beginning of a new phase or the end of an old one. Have you ever had a revelation that changed the course of your life? It might be Gabriel's influence. He is the messenger of transformation, bringing to light what was previously hidden. To recognize his influence, think about the unexpected changes that arise in your life. Those that, even though difficult, bring with them an opportunity for something greater. Raphael completes this sacred trio with his role in healing, but his work is not limited to the physical body. He acts on emotional wounds, traumas, and the invisible pains we carry. If you've experienced deep healing, something that transformed your life completely, perhaps Raphael was by your side during that process. Now, beyond these three, there's another archangel less known but no less important, Uriel. Uriel, though less mentioned than Michael, Gabriel, and Raphael, holds a unique role that cannot be underestimated. He is associated with wisdom, arts, and sciences, serving as a bridge between divine knowledge and human understanding. Imagine Uriel as that wise friend who always has a deeper insight into things, helping you see beyond the surface. While other archangels focus on battles and healing, Uriel brings clarity to the complex issues that the human mind can't always resolve on its own. For those seeking greater understanding and discernment, Uriel's influence can be a powerful guide. This connection of Uriel to intellect is something you can feel in moments when you're searching for answers to difficult questions. Perhaps you've been in a situation where the answers seemed out of reach, but suddenly, everything fell into place. This could be Uriel guiding your thought process. To apply this practically, consider the idea of asking for Uriel's guidance when facing complex dilemmas or needing creative insights. He can help unlock paths that seem impossible to navigate. One of Uriel's most fascinating qualities is his role in guiding humans on the path of learning and evolution. He is often associated with moments of great discovery, both personal and collective. Imagine you're searching for an answer to a fundamental question about your life, such as the direction you should take in your career or relationships. Uriel is the archangel who can help you see all the variables involved and make a decision that resonates with your soul. To notice his influence, be attentive to those epiphanies that come when you least expect them. However, Uriel is not always the most recognized of the archangels. His work often happens quietly, almost imperceptibly, but with a profound impact. He's like the silent mentor, always present but not demanding recognition. When you're deeply involved in studies, meditations, or any process of spiritual growth, Uriel is likely there, offering a greater perspective. Have you noticed how, in moments of focus, answers come more clearly and directly? Uriel is also seen as the archangel who connects spiritual wisdom with the material world. He helps bring abstract ideas into practical application, where they can be used in daily life. A practical example would be when you're about to make an important decision and suddenly have the intuition that you need to follow a specific path. For many people, this is Uriel's influence, opening doors that once seemed invisible. Meditating on his role can bring clarity in moments of uncertainty. Now that we know Uriel better and his influence, it's time to understand his role in one of the most striking visions in the Bible, where he guided the prophet Ezra. One of the most fascinating stories involving Uriel is related to the prophet Ezra and his 7 visions, described in apocryphal texts. In these accounts, Uriel appears as a celestial guide, bringing light and understanding to Ezra amid his doubts about God's mysterious plans and the final events. Think of Uriel as the mentor who offers clarity when confusion takes over, helping Ezra to understand the enigmas of the end times. This relationship between Uriel and Ezra is an example of how celestial knowledge can be shared with those who sincerely seek answers. During the visions, Ezra was restless, trying to comprehend the deeper questions of human existence, divine justice, and the future of humanity. And who appears to bring answers? Uriel, of course. He not only answers the questions but guides Ezra through a path of reflection and revelation. This makes us think, how many times have we sought answers about our future or the meaning of events that occur in our lives? The example of Ezra teaches us that when we are searching for understanding, we must be open to receiving guidance from spiritual sources like Uriel. Uriel doesn't offer easy answers to Ezra but leads him to reflect deeply on the issues that torment him. This is something we can all apply in our lives. Often, the answers aren't ready to be handed to us. They need to be explored, discussed, and understood. A practical example would be when we face a moral or ethical dilemma, and instead of seeking a quick solution, we allow ourselves to dive deeper and contemplate different perspectives. This is Uriel's way, taking the human mind beyond what is immediate and obvious. Uriel's role as Ezra's spiritual guide also highlights the importance of questioning, of seeking greater truths. Sometimes we're afraid to ask difficult questions about our existence or the challenges we face. But Ezra's story shows us that these questions are the path to enlightenment. If you find yourself in a phase of life where answers seem distant, perhaps it's time to adopt Ezra's spirit and ask the hard questions, trusting that spiritual guidance will come, as it did with Uriel. The depth of Ezra's vision, guided by Uriel, also reveals something powerful about the relationship between humans and the divine. It's a journey of continuous discovery. Uriel doesn't give Ezra all the answers at once. He guides him step by step, vision by vision, allowing the prophet to understand the truths at his own pace. This teaches us the patience needed to grasp the bigger questions of life. Sometimes, the answer we seek doesn't come immediately, but it unfolds gradually, as part of a process. And at the end of Ezra's visions, Uriel makes it clear that divine mysteries won't always be fully revealed. This leads us to consider his role in the final judgment. Let's explore how Uriel connects with this crucial aspect of spiritual existence next. Uriel also plays a crucial role in apocryphal texts, being associated with the final judgment. He is described as the Archangel who oversees the resurrection of the dead, bringing souls to judgment. Imagine Uriel as the one who, at the end of times, ensures that every human being faces the consequences of their life choices. It's no easy task, but Uriel, with his wisdom and discernment, is perfectly suited to guide souls through this process. This makes us reflect on our own choices and how, in the end, they all carry spiritual weight. Uriel's connection with judgment also makes us think about how we handle our daily decisions. If every choice we make could eventually be evaluated, this means living with integrity and wisdom is essential. A practical example would be when we face situations where we have to choose between what's easy and what's right. Uriel, as a spiritual guide, encourages us always to choose the path of justice, even if it's the most challenging. It's as if he's beside us, reminding us that our actions have an impact beyond what we can see. Uriel is not just an enforcer of justice but also a mentor who prepares us for that judgment. He offers wisdom so that we can live according to divine principles, so that when the moment of judgment arrives, we are ready. Think about this. How can you apply this concept to your life today? Perhaps it's an invitation to review your priorities, live more consciously, and seek a life of spiritual harmony. Uriel reminds us that judgment is not something to fear, but rather something to prepare for. Uriel's role in judgment also teaches us about responsibility. Each of us is responsible for our actions, and Uriel is there to ensure that responsibility is respected. This may sound severe, but it's also profoundly liberating. Knowing we are responsible for our choices gives us power over our spiritual journey. If you've ever found yourself reflecting on the meaning of your actions and their impact on the future, this is the kind of reflection that Uriel inspires. He encourages us to live with purpose, knowing that every step has a consequence. Another interesting aspect of Uriel's connection with judgment is his role in bringing clarity and justice, ensuring that everything is seen fairly. In moments when we feel wronged or lost, we can ask for his guidance to find the truth. This is a practical example of how Uriel can be called upon in times of doubt, to bring a clearer understanding of situations. He is not there just to punish, but also to restore balance and bring justice to those who sincerely seek it. Now that we understand Uriel's role in judgment, we can explore his impact on modern beliefs. Many still see Uriel as a source of wisdom and inspiration today. In modern times, Uriel remains a revered figure, especially among those seeking wisdom and guidance in difficult moments. He is seen as the Archangel who helps people make important decisions and find clarity in times of confusion. Imagine Uriel as that silent but powerful presence that manifests when you need to make a tough decision. Instead of waiting for external answers, Uriel encourages us to look within and trust our own inner wisdom. This self-confidence, reinforced by his guidance, is what allows many to overcome seemingly insurmountable obstacles. Uriel also represents the ability to rise again after times of adversity. Many people who go through difficult moments, whether personal or professional, report feeling a kind of spiritual renewal when invoking Uriel. He teaches us that, after the storm, there's always an opportunity to rebuild with more wisdom and purpose. A practical example would be after a significant loss, whether emotional or material. Meditating on Uriel's strength can help bring clarity and inspiration to move forward with determination. In many contemporary spiritual beliefs, Uriel is seen as a beacon of creative inspiration. He is often associated with the development of arts and sciences, encouraging those working in creative fields to seek inspiration from divine sources. Have you noticed how, sometimes, the brightest ideas seem to come out of nowhere? Many believe that this creative spark is Uriel's influence, guiding minds and hearts to profound discoveries and transformative achievements. If you're at a point where you need inspiration for a creative project, it might be a good idea to ask for his help. Additionally, Uriel is considered a source of confidence and courage. When we face moments of uncertainty, often all we need is a push in the right direction, a sign that we're on the correct path. This is where Uriel comes in, offering not just wisdom but also the confidence needed to move forward with courage. Think of a time in your life when you felt hesitant, but somehow, you found the strength to make the right decision. This kind of clarity and inner strength is often attributed to Uriel's influence in many modern spiritual traditions. Uriel also symbolizes spiritual enlightenment, helping people find meaning in their lives and see beyond material concerns. For those seeking spiritual growth, he acts as a silent guide, illuminating the path to self-knowledge and inner peace. An example of this would be when someone is searching for a greater purpose in life, beyond material success or worldly achievements. By connecting with Uriel, this person may find a new direction, more aligned with their spiritual aspirations. Now that we know Uriel and his importance both in ancient texts and modern beliefs, you might be wondering, how can you apply all this to your daily life? This is the moment to reflect on the wisdom of the archangels and how they can positively influence our path. But before we wrap up, let's dive deeper into a question that intrigues many. How can Uriel, with all his wisdom, help us prepare for the future and make important decisions? Now that you've discovered the power and wisdom of Uriel, it's time to apply this knowledge in your life. Think about the difficult decisions you're facing today. What's stopping you from choosing the clearest and wisest path? Archangel Uriel could be the guide you've been missing to help you see with more clarity. So why not start right now? What are you waiting for to seek this spiritual connection and transform your journey? Let Uriel's wisdom guide you in every step and see how your life can change. And before you go, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to keep learning more about archangels and spiritual topics. What you'll discover next could be even more revealing.